I see you, my beloved. I see the quiet fight behind your eyes, the moments you've stood in front of the mirror and barely recognized the strength it took to face another day. You walk with weights that others do not see, burdens wrapped in silence, cloaked in smiles. You have endured season after season that felt like winter without end, and though your hands are tired and your soul worn, you have not let go. That alone is holy. And now, hear me clearly. You are closer to breakthrough than you think. It may not look like it. The horizon may still seem empty. The skies unshaken by the prayers you've whispered again and again. But what you cannot see is what I see. The soil has shifted. The atmosphere has changed. What looked like barrenness is not void. It is preparation. The roots are deepening. The pressure you feel, the unrest, the stirring that keeps your heart awake even in the night, that is the sound of divine momentum building. Just as the seed must press through the darkness before it touches the sun, so too must your promise emerge from unseen depths. This is not your end. This is the moment just before it all breaks open. You have waited, sometimes patiently, sometimes with tears streaming down your face, asking me if I still remember your name. I have never forgotten. Your name has been written in my hand. Your tears have not fallen unnoticed. They have been gathered like rain into a cloud of coming glory. And when it releases, it will not be a drop. It will be a downpour of redemption, restoration, and renewal. You are not being punished by the delay. You are being positioned. There's a sacred timing in everything I do, and though your flesh cries out for answers, your spirit knows I am faithful. I have not brought you this far to abandon you now. The pain you carry is not wasted. Every ache, every lonely night, every closed door has become a thread in the tapestry I am weaving. I know you've questioned me. It's all right. I welcome your honesty more than pretense. I have seen you on your knees when you thought no one was watching. I have heard the silent scream in your heart when words failed. I am not far off. I am right here, closer than your next breath. I whisper to you even now. Keep going, don't quit. The shift you've been longing for is already underway. You may feel surrounded by impossibilities, but I specialize in the impossible. What you see as a wall is about to become a doorway. What you see as defeat is only a pause before the music begins again. I am setting the stage. The delay has never been denial. It has been preparation. You've outgrown the former season, and the new one requires strength you didn't know you were gaining in the process. Trust me when I say, nothing has been for nothing. Even your weakest moments were sowing seeds of glory. And now, beloved, the harvest is near. Don't measure my movement by your emotions. I move in ways beyond your senses. While you are asking for evidence, I am already establishing outcomes. While you are waiting for a sign, I am orchestrating details you could not even imagine. I work in the realm of hearts and timing, of places and plans. I turn the hearts of kings, shift the winds of economy, open unlikely avenues through people you haven't yet met. Nothing, absolutely nothing, is beyond my reach, and I am reaching for you. You have grown. Even when you felt you were failing, you were actually being formed. Your capacity has stretched. Your endurance has matured. Your faith, though fragile at times, has been forged in fire. You are not the same person who first cried out for this breakthrough. You are stronger now, not in your own strength, but in mine. I have been building you to carry what's coming, because when it comes, it will be weighty. Beautiful, yes. Joyful, yes. But it will also require a strength that is not shaken by applause or adversity. You are being prepared not just for a blessing, but for a mantle, a mission, a move of purpose that will bless others through you. So hear me again. You are closer than you think. If only you could see what is just beyond this veil, you would not entertain despair another moment. Angels have been dispatched. Assignments are being completed. The things that once resisted you will have no choice but to yield. My spirit is going before you, and my presence, my tangible, overwhelming, healing presence, is drawing near to lift the burden and anoint your head with fresh oil. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. And you are certainly not finished. I do not abandon the works of my hands. You are my masterpiece in progress, and I am nearly finished with this chapter. The next one holds what you have dreamed of and more. Stay with me. Keep trusting even when it hurts. Keep hoping even when it feels foolish. For your hope is not in vain. It is anchored in me, the unchanging one. You have not misheard me, child. The longing in your heart is not misguided hope. The ache you feel deep in your bones is not delusion. It is evidence of something real, something I planted in you before you ever took your first breath. I gave you the dream. I birthed the desire. And though time and trial have threatened to convince you that maybe you imagined it, I am here to remind you. I do not place visions within you only to leave them unfulfilled. What I begin, I complete. And the stirring you feel right now is not the end. It is the signal that fulfillment is approaching. You are weary, I know. Not just tired in your body, but in your soul. There's a heaviness that words can't quite capture, a weariness that feels almost holy because it has come through faithful endurance. You've kept believing when others gave up. You've kept trusting when there was no evidence to trust. You've walked through silence and shadow, wondering if I still walk with you. And the answer is yes. Not only have I walked with you, but I've carried you more times than you realize. The reason you're still here is not because you never fell. It's because I never let you stay down. I see the way you scan the horizon for signs. You pray, and then you look. You obey, and then you wait. It feels like you're constantly offering up your heart, only to hear silence in return. But I want you to know this. I've never wasted a single moment of your faith. There is no step you've taken in obedience that I have not seen. No act of kindness, no quiet surrender, no whispered yes has gone unnoticed. I have recorded it all, and I am the God who repays with abundance, not just in things, but in peace, purpose, and power. The timing you question has always been perfect, but perfect timing does not always feel comfortable. It stretches you. It tests the boundaries of your trust. It reveals the cracks in your foundation, not to shame you, but to fortify you. For what I'm bringing cannot rest on fragile ground. And so I have allowed the waiting, not to punish you, but to prepare you. The very delay you have cursed has been the season in which I built a strength in you that could not be formed any other way. It was never a denial. It was always development. I know the voice of the enemy well, the one that whispers, if it hasn't happened by now, it never will. I see how those words replay in your thoughts, growing louder with each passing day. But that voice is not your truth. My voice speaks a better word. What I have promised, I will perform. And I have promised you breakthrough. I have spoken over your life a destiny that cannot be erased by delay, detour, or discouragement. It is written in eternity, and no force in hell or on earth can stop what I have ordained. Your journey has not been random. Every mountain, every valley, every detour has been woven into a path leading directly to what I have for you. Nothing has been wasted. The people who left, I knew they would. The doors that closed, I meant for them to. The prayers that seemed unanswered, I stored them as incense, and in the fullness of time, I will pour out the answers with precision and glory. Trust me, even in what you don't understand. Especially in what you don't understand. For trust is not proven in clarity, but in the shadows. I am not just concerned with giving you breakthrough. I'm concerned with making you whole enough to carry it. If I gave it to you yesterday, it may have crushed you, but tomorrow it will crown you. Because you're becoming the kind of vessel that can carry the weight of answered prayer without being broken by it. You're being expanded, and that expansion often feels like breaking. But it's not the end. It's the stretching of new wineskins to contain what I am about to pour. There's a shift coming that will make the waiting worth it. I say it again. There is a shift coming, and not just around you, but in you. Where there was fear, I will place boldness. Where there was doubt, I will plant clarity. Where there was grief, I will pour joy that runs deep and true. This is not a vague hope. This is my plan, and I have never failed to bring my plans to pass. What you feel now is the pressure before release, the trembling before transformation. Keep standing. Keep believing. You are not forgotten. You are closer than you've ever been. With every breath, you are nearing the moment when what has been hidden will be revealed. Not because of your strength, but because of mine. Not because you never faltered, but because I never let you fall beyond redemption. My eyes have never left you, and my hand has never lifted. I am the God who finishes what I start, and I am not done with you. There are moments, beloved, when you wonder if what you carry inside is too broken to ever become whole. The delays, the disappointments, the wounds, they whisper lies that maybe something in you disqualified the breakthrough, that perhaps you missed the moment or made one too many mistakes. But I want to speak clearly now, straight into that tender place. Nothing about your past can cancel what I have purposed for you. Nothing. You are not disqualified. You are not disowned. You are not discarded. You are being redeemed in ways even you cannot yet comprehend. There has never been a moment when I have looked away from you in shame. Even in your lowest valleys, I have looked at you with mercy, with longing, with deep affection. My love does not shift with your performance. It does not falter when you fall. I am not like others who have walked away. I am not comparing you to a standard you can't reach. I formed you. I understand you. I know why you made the choices you did. And still, I chose you. My choosing does not waver when your faith does. I knew your full story before it began, and I still said, "You are mine." You may carry scars that others can't see, but I see them. Every place that has bled, I am healing. Every memory that still stings, I am rewriting with grace. You have cried over things that others brushed off. You've been overlooked in rooms you were called to influence, but I never missed your worth. I have been crafting a story of beauty from your ashes, and the breakthrough coming to you is not only circumstantial, it is deeply personal. I am breaking through the lies that have bound your identity. I am tearing down the strongholds of shame. I am lifting your head not just to see what's coming, but to see who you truly are. Your identity has never been what was done to you. It is not in the labels others gave you in their ignorance. It is not in the seasons that broke you down. You are not your struggle. You are not your failure. You are not your delay. You are mine, chosen, anointed, covered, destined. Your value is not earned. It is inherent. It was established when I formed you in secret. You're not a problem to be fixed. You are a purpose unfolding. And even now I am restoring the vision you lost when you started believing the wrong voices. Breakthrough begins inside before it shows outside. And right now, I am doing a deep work in your identity, because when you know who you are in me, no lie can shake you, and no delay can steal your confidence. I'm not asking you to pretend to be strong. I'm inviting you to rest in my strength, to lay down the masks and let me remind you who you are. Beloved, valuable, wanted, covered. You have not been forgotten. I'm stirring within you a remembrance of destiny. You are closer than you think, not just to open doors, but to inner deliverance. You are closer to peace that lasts, to joy that doesn't leave when storms come, to confidence that cannot be shaken by comparison or rejection. You're closer to walking in the fullness of who I made you to be, not a shadow of yourself, not someone crushed by the weight of what others expect, but someone wholly aligned with my heart and voice. This is not about proving anything. This is about coming home to yourself in me. There is nothing weak about needing healing, nothing shameful about carrying pain, but you were never meant to carry it alone. I'm here to shoulder the weight with you, to breathe into the parts of your soul that have gone numb, to awaken what you thought had died. That dream you buried, I still see it. That part of your heart you closed off, I still knock. Let me in. I'm not coming to expose your pain. I'm coming to heal it, to restore the innocence you lost in the fight, to remind you that breakthrough is not just what happens outside you. It is what happens when you are whole enough to hold what I give you without fear. You've looked at others and asked why they seem to have received what you've been waiting for. I understand that ache, but comparison clouds your view. I am not working on your life according to their timetable. I am working according to a blueprint drawn up in divine love. Your story is not late. It's being written with care, and what I am writing is worth the wait, because it will not only bless you, it will heal others through you. Do not be afraid of who you're becoming. Do not resist the unfamiliar rising in you, the boldness, the clarity, the courage to say no where you once said yes just to be accepted. I'm giving you permission to step into your true identity. You do not need to apologize for being anointed. You do not need to hide the depth of your calling. You were born for impact. You were formed for overflow. And I am bringing you into alignment with who you truly are, so that when the doors open, you walk through them knowing exactly who sent you and why you're there. Fear has tried to be your companion in this season, whispering worst-case scenarios, wrapping itself around your thoughts, tightening with every delay. I've watched how it creeps in during the still moments, how it rehearses failure in your ears when no one else is around. You fought it silently, sometimes fiercely, sometimes barely. And yet, beloved, I'm telling you now, fear is not your inheritance. I have not given you a spirit of fear. I have placed my courage deep inside your spirit, and it is awakening, even now, because what is coming requires your boldness, not your retreat. It requires your faith to rise above the sound of trembling thoughts. You see, fear has always been a thief, not just of peace, but of vision. It distorts what is possible. It magnifies the size of the obstacle while minimizing the greatness of your God. But I'm speaking over that fear now. I am breaking its grip on your heart. I am reminding you of who walks with you, the one who holds time and eternity, who calms the storms not only around you, but within you. You do not face this moment alone. I walk into your fears ahead of you and make a path through what looks impossible. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to feel brave. You only need to trust that I am leading you. And I am. With every unknown, every unanswered question, every uncharted path, I go before you. My spirit surrounds you. My wisdom is your portion. And my protection is fierce. No attack will prosper against what I have marked for breakthrough. And you, my beloved, are marked. I know how it feels when your hope seems fragile, when the voices in your mind say, "Don't get too excited. What if it never happens?" But I want you to know, you don't need to suppress your hope to protect yourself from disappointment. That's not my way. I want you to hope wildly again, to hope freely, to dream big, not because you are naive, but because you are rooted in my character. I want you to trust that even if things unfold differently than you expected, I will always deliver you into something better than you imagined. Your hope is not reckless, it is sacred. Fear thrives in the absence of truth, and so I speak truth now. You are safe in me, you are shielded, you are seen, you are sustained. The future is not something to dread, it is something I have already walked through and prepared on your behalf. Every trial you will face, I have already conquered. Every battle that lies ahead, I have already overcome. You are not walking toward uncertainty, you are walking into fulfillment. And fear has no voice in that journey unless you allow it. Shut the door on fear, shut the door on anxiety. I am here, and where I am, peace rules. I know the enemy has tried to convince you that fear is just part of your nature, that it will always be with you, but I placed within you a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. You are not a slave to fear. You are free. You are empowered. You are covered. And when fear rises again, because it will try, you will not be shaken, because now you know it for what it is, a shadow, not substance, a voice, not truth. And you will answer it not with retreat, but with praise, not with panic, but with my promises. There is a courage rising in you now, a holy defiance against every voice that said you wouldn't make it, a still, stubborn belief that I am still good, even here, that I am still working, even when the evidence is thin, that I'm still faithful even when fear says otherwise. That courage, it is not from you, it is from me. And I've waited for this moment, when you would rise not in your own strength, but in mine. When your yes would come not from confidence in outcomes, but confidence in me alone. Do not be afraid of what's next. You're not walking into a battle unarmed. You are walking into fulfillment, equipped with fire-tested faith, sharpened discernment, and a divine confidence that only comes from having walked through hell, not lost your worship. You carry scars, yes, but those scars are proof that fear did not win. You are still here, still standing, still expecting. That is victory. So breathe. Fear may knock, but it will not reign. It may echo, but it will not dictate your steps. I will be louder. My voice will rise within you like thunder against every whisper of despair. I will remind you again and again, you are mine. I have you. I've gone ahead of you. The road may still curve, but it will not end in failure. You will arrive in fullness, and fear will be forced to watch you cross into your breakthrough without ever touching you again. Healing has not always looked the way you expected. You thought it would come quickly, a clean moment, a shift, a sign. But instead, it has come slowly, quietly, like rain softening hardened ground. I know how frustrating that can feel, when you're desperate to move forward, but something inside you still aches, when your heart still reacts to old wounds, when memories still bleed, when trust feels like a risk too great. But beloved, healing isn't delayed. It's unfolding, one layer at a time, one revelation at a time, one moment of surrender after another. And I have been in every moment. You are not behind. You are not broken beyond repair. Healing doesn't mean forgetting what happened. It means I'm transforming what happened. I do not erase the past as if it never existed. I redeem it so that it loses its power to harm you. The very places where pain once lived are becoming altars of my presence. Where there was bitterness, I am planting compassion. Where there was abandonment, I am wrapping you in belonging. Where there was betrayal, I'm restoring trust. First in me, then slowly in those I bring into your life. You've carried some wounds so long that they've started to feel like part of your identity, but I never called you damaged. I never named you by what hurt you. You're not defined by the pain, the trauma, or the mistake. You are defined by my love, my intention, my spirit that lives inside you. And as I heal you, I am also revealing you, because much of what you thought was your personality, the withdrawal, the guardedness, the silence, was actually protection. But now you are safe. And when you are safe, the true self begins to emerge. It's okay that some days you still feel the sting. It's okay that joy doesn't always come naturally. Healing is not about pretending you're okay. It's about letting me hold you while you're still in process. I'm not waiting for you to be whole to walk with you. I'm walking with you to make you whole. Even your tears are sacred to me. They speak of a heart that hasn't gone cold. And that heart, raw, real, reaching, is a treasure in my sight. There have been people who hurt you, and people who misrepresented me. You've been let down by those who claimed to speak for me but carried no love. I saw it all. I grieved with you. I never approved of what was done in my name that caused you harm. But I will not allow the actions of others to define your view of me forever. I am healing the image of who I am in your eyes. I am drawing you close again, not through guilt, but through gentleness. Not by force, but by invitation. Come close again. Let me love you without agenda. Let me wash over the parts of you that feel undeserving. The healing you're walking into will not just restore you, it will ripple through generations. Because when you choose to break the cycle of pain, fear, silence, and shame, you open a door for those who come after you to walk freely. That is no small thing. That is legacy, and it is holy. This is not just about you. It's about everything I plan to do through you. Your healing is the soil where I will plant ministries, friendships, families, and futures. That's why I've not rushed this. Because the deeper the healing, the stronger the foundation. You may not even realize how far you've already come. But look closer. The things that used to trigger you now pass without the same sting. The lies that used to paralyze you now sound hollow. The grief that once overwhelmed you is now a place where you meet me. You are healing, not perfectly, not all at once, but truly. And every step forward is celebrated in heaven, not because you are strong on your own, but because you've allowed me to carry you through. Do not despise the process. The world may praise instant results, but I work through process because process forms roots. Quick fixes create shallow faith. Deep healing builds unshakable identity. And what I am building in you is unshakable. You will emerge not just healed, but whole. Not just restored, but radiant. And those who once knew you only in pain will marvel at the light that now shines through your life. This too is part of your breakthrough. The inward renewal that comes before the outward restoration. The healing of identity before the display of destiny. I am not in a rush, and I invite you to release your own timeline. Trust the flow of my spirit. I know when to accelerate and when to let things rest. I know how to protect your heart while bringing you forward, and I promise you this: I will finish the work I've begun in you. You will not live the rest of your life in survival mode. You will thrive. You will walk in freedom. You will love again, deeply, fearlessly, fully. Do not underestimate what has been happening in the unseen places. Just because it hasn't come into view doesn't mean it's not real. I do some of my greatest work where eyes cannot see and hands cannot reach. The deep places, your spirit, your future, your destiny, are shaped in silence and hiddenness before they are revealed. And that is what I've been doing in you. The silence you've experienced hasn't been abandonment. It has been sacred preparation. I speak most deeply when the world grows quiet. And when you couldn't hear me, I still moved. When you didn't feel me, I still covered you. The waiting hasn't been a waste. It's been divine timing refining your heart and your path. And now, even when you feel you're in a standstill, know that time is never lost in my hands. I redeem time. I restore moments. What looks like delay to you has been acceleration in my realm, because I've been shaping what eyes have not yet seen. A breakthrough so tailored to your life, so intricately built around your growth, that when it arrives, it will not just bless you, it will establish you. This is not a temporary relief. It is the birthing of a new era. I know how hard it is to trust when the signs don't line up with what I've promised. I know how you try to make sense of the contradictions, where I speak life, but all you see is lack. But that's where faith grows. Not in the moments where everything aligns, but in the moments where you believe me anyway. And you have. Even in your trembling, even when you were unsure, you leaned into me, even if only by whispering, "Help me." I received that whisper like a symphony. I honor it, I cherish it. That is the kind of faith I build kingdoms with. There are prayers you've prayed that still echo in my presence. I haven't forgotten a single one. Some of them you may not even remember. Moments you cried out without words, just tears. I heard everyone. I answered some with a yes, others with a wait, but none were ignored. My delays are not denials. They are divine intervals where I weave layers of grace into what you asked for. Sometimes you asked me to fix something, but I chose to transform it. Sometimes you asked me to open a door, but I made you a gate instead, so others could pass through what you endured. You've been watching, waiting for movement, but I've been building foundation. I've been removing things that would not sustain the weight of what I'm bringing. Relationships, mindsets, attachments. I've gently pruned your life not to leave you barren, but to prepare you for fullness. You may not have recognized it at the time, but each loss carried purpose. Each no carried protection. Each closed door redirected you to my best. Nothing in your story is random. I'm sovereign and I waste nothing. And now, beloved, I want you to begin to expect again. Not with anxiety, not with pressure, but with open hands and a ready heart. Expect not just for me to come through, but to exceed what you thought possible. I don't give according to your capacity to imagine. I give according to my nature. And I am the God of overflow, the God of suddenly, the God of more than enough. Prepare your heart to receive, because where you have known drought, you will now know abundance. Where you have known silence, you will hear clarity. Where you have known waiting, you will walk in divine timing. The breakthrough coming is not a coincidence. It is the direct result of what you have sown in faith, in obedience, in tears. I keep record of sacrifice. I remember every act of surrender. Even when you didn't see fruit, I saw roots. Deep roots. Strong roots. And now that the roots are in place, the fruit can come. Quickly, lavishly, without sorrow attached. Because I do not give gifts that come with strings, I give from love, and I sustain what I give with grace. There's about to be a divine shift. You will feel it in your spirit before you see it with your eyes. You'll begin to notice doors opening that once resisted you, conversations changing, opportunities arising without your striving. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. I'm aligning things suddenly that seemed stuck for years. But even then, do not be distracted by the pace. Keep your eyes on me, not on the blessings. Keep your ears tuned to my voice, not just to outcomes. I will guide you through success, just as I guided you through struggle. Your faithfulness has been seen, not the kind that earns me, for you never needed to earn my love, but the kind that walks with me when nothing makes sense. That kind of faith changes legacies. That kind of trust builds altars others will one day kneel at. because your life will be the evidence that I keep my promises. You will not only walk into breakthrough, you will carry the testimony of it. And when you walk through the door I'm opening, you will remember this. It was never about speed. It was always about substance. I was never rushing to get you there. I was forming you into the kind of person who would flourish when you arrived. I know you've carried guilt like a shadow that won't let go. Guilt for not being farther along, for not doing more, for the choices you regret, for the moments you wish you could rewrite. You've replayed your past more times than you can count, wondering if something you did delayed what I promised, wondering if you sabotaged what could have been. But let me speak plainly to your heart. I have never required perfection to bless you. I am not holding your mistakes against you. I do not see you through the lens of failure. I see you through the lens of the cross. Finished, forgiven, free. Guilt is a heavy burden, and I never placed it on your shoulders. Conviction, yes, because I love you too much to leave you in patterns that hurt you. But guilt that paralyzes, shame that isolates, regret that keeps you chained, those do not come from me. I've watched you live under the weight of what I already lifted. I've seen how guilt has silenced your boldness and dimmed your hope. But today, I am breaking that agreement. You're not bound to your past. You're being released into redemption. You're not disqualified by where you've been. You're qualified by who I am. You are not late. Not one moment of your life has surprised me. I took all of it into account, your detours, your pain, your doubts, even the seasons you turned away from me. And I still wrote a plan that leads to your good. I'm not editing your story based on your failures. I authored it knowing everything. And even now, I am writing redemption into every chapter. I am not embarrassed by you. I am proud of the way you've fought to keep going, the way you've turned your face toward me again, even if it took everything in you to do it. That is worship. That is faith. The enemy wants to keep you in a cycle of self-blame because he knows that if you ever believe you're fully forgiven, you'll rise in power. He fears the day you realize that you are not what you did, that you are not your lowest moment. He trembles at the thought of you walking in the freedom I've already paid for. But I'm not afraid of your mess. I stepped into the middle of it and brought mercy with me. My grace is not fragile. It is fierce. It doesn't just cover your sin, it heals the root. It restores your confidence. It renews your voice. You've been holding your breath, waiting for permission to believe that maybe, just maybe, you're still worthy of what you've asked for. So let me be the one to tell you, yes, you are. Not because of what you've done, but because of what I've done. My love does not expire when you fall short. I don't revoke my promises when you struggle. You don't have to clean yourself up to come close. I clean you. I cover you. I carry you when your legs give out. And I never let go. There are blessings that I'm still bringing into your life, not because you've earned them, but because I love you, because I know the full context, because I see your heart, not just your habits, because I remember who you are when you've forgotten. I've seen the moments you chose kindness when you could have chosen revenge, the moments you stayed when it would have been easier to walk away, the way you've grown, even if others haven't seen it. I have, and I reward what is done in secret. So don't be afraid that you've missed it. I am not a God of second chances only. I am the God of restoration. I restore the years. I redeem the lost harvests. I bring back what was stolen, and I return it multiplied. You have not fallen too far. You have not waited too long. I can accelerate your season in a moment. I can restore what was lost in days. But even more than that, I am restoring you, your heart, your joy, your trust in yourself, your capacity to believe again, and all of it matters to me. You do not need to carry the guilt of not being perfect. I never asked you to be perfect. I asked you to be mine. And you are. Fully. Completely. No guilt, no shame, no regret can change that. What's coming into your life is not a reward for flawless performance. It is the fruit of my goodness. You're not striving your way into favor. You're already favored. The breakthrough ahead is not proof of your strength. It is proof of my grace. Let go of the guilt. It has no home in the life I'm leading you into. Lay it down, here and now. Release the need to punish yourself for what I've already forgiven. I'm not angry with you. I'm not waiting for you to prove anything. I want you to walk in the freedom I bled for. Freedom from condemnation. Freedom from fear of failing again. Freedom to receive what I have for you with open hands and a whole heart. Because you are closer to breakthrough than you think. And you will walk into it not burdened by guilt, but clothed in grace. Head lifted, heart healed, fully mine. There is something sacred about the way you've endured. Others may see the surface, the quiet resilience, the gentle strength. But I see the deeper layers. I see the nights when your chest felt too tight to breathe. When you clung to faith by a thread. When the silence felt like abandonment. You've walked through fire. Not metaphorical heat. Real suffering, real confusion, real loss. And through it all, you kept moving. Even if it was slow. Even if it was messy. Even if it was just a crawl. And I was there. Every step, every tear, every fragile prayer. You may not recognize it, but the pain that tried to break you has carved out new capacity within you. What once seemed unbearable now testifies to your endurance. Not just human strength, but divine sustenance. I've been holding you together in ways you didn't understand at the time. When you felt like you would shatter, I was catching the pieces. I wasn't just watching from a distance. I was weeping with you, interceding for you, strengthening you from within. What the enemy meant to destroy you, I used to deepen your roots. And those roots have grown, deeper than disappointment, deeper than circumstance. You now carry an authority that only comes from surviving what you were never meant to survive alone. That is why your voice is different. That is why your presence carries weight. Because you've learned me in the suffering, not just the God of mountaintops, but the God who sits beside you in the ashes. The God who doesn't walk past your pain, but enters it, sits with it, and transforms it from within. This is why your breakthrough is different than what you imagined. You thought it would be just the fixing of external things, the open door, the answered prayer, the solution. And I will bring those, yes. But your breakthrough has become something more, something eternal. It is your becoming. It is your rising. It is the way your soul has expanded to carry more of me. It is the way your heart now recognizes what truly matters. The way your eyes have learned to see people, not just through judgment, but through mercy. That is breakthrough. And soon, the things you've longed for will begin to align. Not because you finally got everything right, but because I've been preparing them while preparing you. Some of the waiting wasn't about your readiness. It was about theirs. The people, the resources, the timing. I was aligning the pieces so the blessing would not break you or pass you by. I don't just bless randomly. I bless when it will sustain. And this, beloved, is your sustaining season. You're closer to open doors than you've ever been. But what matters even more is that you're now ready to walk through them without losing who you are. You no longer need external success to validate your worth. You don't need the applause, the approval, the platform, because you have found your anchor in me. And because of that, I can trust you with more. Not just more influence, but more weight, more peace, more glory, more responsibility. Because you will steward it with tenderness, not entitlement, with reverence, not pride. What once hurt you now gives you language to heal others. You speak comfort with an authority that can't be taught. It's earned in the wilderness. That's why your life carries oil. It wasn't crushed out of convenience. It was pressed from pain. And now it flows not just for you, but for everyone you'll touch. I'm raising you as a vessel, one who carries not just answers, but presence. And your presence will shift atmospheres, not because of who you are, but because of who is in you. You thought your breakthrough would end the struggle, but I'm showing you it transforms the struggle. You're not escaping, you're emerging. Stronger, wiser, holier. You will walk back into the places that once triggered you, and they will no longer hold power. You'll see the people who once shamed you, and you'll feel peace, not panic. That's how you'll know the healing is real, the deliverance is deep, the shift is lasting. This is not a breakthrough that fades. This is a shift that stays. And you will carry the presence of someone who has wrestled with God and lived, not broken, but blessed, not confused, but consecrated. You will be the evidence of redemption, not just in what you say, but in how you move through the world. Calm, rooted, whole. That is what I've been forming in the fire. That is what I've been guarding in the shadows. That is what I'm about to reveal in the light. So don't be surprised when favor finds you. Don't be shocked when doors open that you didn't knock on. You may feel unqualified, but that's exactly where my glory shines. I am the one who qualifies. I am the one who elevates. And I'm not promoting you for applause. I'm positioning you for purpose. Because what I've done in you was never just for you. It was always for others who are still in their own valleys, waiting to see someone rise and prove it's possible. The distance you thought still remained between you and breakthrough is far less than you imagined. What felt like miles is now moments. The long night is nearly over, and light is cresting the horizon of your life. I have not spoken these things to stir your hope in vain. I have spoken them to prepare your heart for what is now unfolding. What you have carried in faith, often trembling, is being brought into sight. Not because you finally found the strength, but because I never stopped moving. I want you to notice something, beloved. Your heart has changed. That ache you once feared would consume you has softened. That longing that once controlled your every thought has begun to quiet in reverence instead of desperation. That's not because the desire has died. It's because my peace has taken root. You are no longer trying to force your way into breakthrough. You are standing in alignment with it. You've shifted from striving to abiding. And that is where breakthrough finds its greatest welcome, in the soil of surrender. The door is opening, the moment is near, but not with the fanfare the world expects. Rather, it comes like a gentle wind, like a sunrise after long darkness. Subtle at first, then undeniable. I am aligning conversations, rearranging rooms, softening hearts. The very people who overlooked you will now see the hand of God resting on your life. Not because you sought to prove anything, but because you let me prove myself through you. You chose humility when you could have fought for recognition. You chose love when you could have shut your heart. And now your harvest is arriving clothed in grace. What you are about to step into has nothing to do with luck, chance, or coincidence. It is the outcome of divine orchestration, a holy result born of intimacy, obedience, and mercy. There are doors opening not just because of your prayers, but because of the prayers of those who came before you. Prayers I have not forgotten. You are the answer to generations of intercession, and this breakthrough will not end with you. It will ripple forward, shaping lives you've not yet met. You'll begin to recognize the signs, a lightness in your spirit, an increase of clarity, a sense of unexpected courage to do what once felt too risky. Those are not emotions, they are confirmations. I am stirring your spirit because your feet must now move. No longer stuck, no longer circling the same places. The time of wandering is over. This is the shift from hoping to possessing, from praying about it to walking in it. But even as you walk into new things, I will keep you grounded in truth. The blessing will not distract you. It will root you deeper, because it will be evident that it was never by your might. It was me, all of it. And you will give glory freely, not because you must, but because you're overwhelmed by the goodness that has come after the sorrow. You will be marked by gratitude, not as a performance, but as a lifestyle. Because breakthrough has taught you that everything flows from my mercy. I know how long you have waited. I know the hours you've wrestled. I know how many times you nearly gave up, and I honor your endurance. What I'm doing now in your life is not only the manifestation of a promise, it is the celebration of your faithfulness. You stayed, you believed, you kept showing up when everything around you said, give up. I never overlooked that. I was there. I watched every moment. And now I bless you not just with fulfillment, but with rest. This next season will be marked not by chaos, but by peace. Not by striving, but by flow. The same God who walked you through the storm now walks you into the still waters. This is your portion. This is your inheritance. You are not stepping into a season of struggle. You are stepping into a season of sustained strength. You will not have to fight for every inch anymore. I will begin to carry you with momentum, with ease, with joy. And no, it doesn't mean there will never again be battles, but it means the core of your soul will no longer live in tension. Your inner world will be settled. Your heart will be established. And because of that, you will face what comes with a confidence that is not shaken. Not because life has become perfect, but because your foundation is no longer fragile. Breakthrough is not a single moment. It is a shift in how you walk through every moment from here forward, with eyes open, with faith alive, with peace unshaken, with me always beside you, always speaking, always guiding. You are not returning to the life you once knew. You are stepping into something new, something only I could build, and it will be worth every second of the waiting. The moment has come, beloved. What I've whispered to you in the dark, I am now bringing into the light. The quiet faith you held onto when everything screamed to let go, I am honoring it. The prayers you thought were buried under time, I am resurrecting them. The dreams you shelved out of weariness, I am breathing on them again. Because what I've promised you is not delayed, not lost, not forgotten. It has simply been preserved until the time was right. And that time is now. You've been faithful in the drought, and now you will reap in the rain. You've sown in tears, and now you will harvest in joy. Your breakthrough isn't something that's coming one day. It's something I'm revealing day by day, moment by moment. I'm not just giving you what you asked for. I'm giving you more than you knew to pray for. Because my love is not limited to your imagination. It exceeds it. And I long to show you just how lavish, how exact, how intentional my goodness can be. You will walk into spaces you didn't strive for and receive favor you didn't negotiate for, not because of manipulation or ambition, but because of alignment. When your heart aligned with mine, doors began to respond to my voice. Not your effort, my favor. And that favor will take you where striving never could. This is the season where grace carries what grit could not, where peace replaces panic, where movement comes from rest. Not inactivity, but trust. A knowing that I am the one. unfolding it all. Now lift your head. Look again. You are not the same person who began this journey. You are stronger, wiser, humbler. You carry an anointing not built in ease, but in endurance. And that oil, costly as it was, will now pour. Your life will carry weight. Your words will heal. Your presence will shift rooms. Because you know what it is to walk through fire and come out carrying glory, not smoke. That is what breakthrough looks like when it's real. Not flashy, but undeniable. You will no longer live as one grasping for scraps of peace. You will feast. You will flourish. And your table will be a place of refuge for others. I am not just blessing you. I am establishing you. You will know what it means to be grounded, to breathe deeply again, to dream without fear of loss, to rest without bracing for disappointment. The trauma that shaped your expectations is being undone. You are no longer waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're walking in the goodness I planned all along. And yes, you will give freely, not out of obligation, but out of overflow. You will share what I've done, not to impress, but to inspire. Because you know the price you paid in the dark. You know the nights you wept and wondered if I still heard you. And now, with each breakthrough, you'll remember, I heard every word, I caught every tear, and I turned all of it into glory. You are closer to breakthrough than you think, because you are standing in it. Feel it. Let it sink in. You are not the same. Your life is not the same. The winds have shifted. The old has passed. The new has come. And this is only the beginning. You will look back and say, it all makes sense now. Every delay, every detour, every number. It was preparing me for this. So walk boldly now, walk free. Walk with open hands and lifted eyes. Your breakthrough is not fragile. It is firm, not fleeting, but eternal. And I, the Lord your God, have done it. Amen. Now go, my child, and share what I've spoken. Let others know they too are closer to breakthrough than they think.